Yo, what's up guys? Teacher Paul here, and today we have a coffee request. This is from Whiplash, and Whiplash says the following. This is a new video, why it's impossible to invade Norway. Thank you, Whiplash, for the support. And guys, we're live right now on Twitch, so come join us live. And this is from a channel called Battle Hub, and it's an educational video where we learn why it's impossible to invade Norway. Let's see. Why is it so impossible?
Imagine you're a villain in a spy movie. You've already invaded tropical islands, mountain bunkers, and maybe even a moon base. But now you get a mission: invade Norway. Yeah, good luck with that. Invading Norway is like trying to break into a fortress designed by a Viking architect with a grudge and unlimited access to snow. It's cold.
You know, tell that to Germany, because they tried. You know, they did not succeed. At first, they went, remember we watched the movie Kongens Day? That was crazy. The scene where the Blucher was sunk. Yeah, they thought it was going to be easy.
Invade Norway. Yeah, good luck with that. Invading Norway is like trying to break into a fortress designed by a Viking architect with a grudge and unlimited access to snow. It's cold, it's confusing.
Unlimited access to snow. It feels like you guys can just summon snow and it falls just like that.
Snow. It's cold, it's confusing, and it fights back. Today, we're breaking down exactly why Norway is one of the hardest countries on Earth to invade. From ice-covered mountains to missile-packed fjords, here's why every general considering...
Missile-packed fjords? What? What do you mean by that?
Missile-packed fjords, here's why every general considering attacking Norway probably ends up Googling easier countries to conquer. Let's dive in. Norway is 90% mountains. 90, as in if you throw a rock, it'll either bounce off a boulder or roll down a slope for 3 hours. Imagine trying to drive a tank through a mountain goat obstacle course. And don't get us started on the coastline. It's like someone handed a toddler a crayon and said, draw a straight line. The fjords are deep, narrow, and twisty, with cliffs that practically scream, "Come at me, bro." Then there are the islands, hundreds of them. Think Mario Kart, but...
Dude, this guy is funny. This is such a funny video. And honestly, like, yeah, how are you going to climb the fjords? There's only one path. You can't go left, right. You just got to go forward or back. There's no way to conquer the fjords. That is a fortress right there, a natural fortress.
Every road ends in cold water and disappointment. There are only a few viable places to land, and even those are so poorly connected to the rest of the country that an invading army would get stuck in traffic behind a herd of sheep. Next up, the weather. If the terrain didn't stop you, the climate definitely will. Norwegian winters are no joke. They're like the final boss in a video game. Brutal.
This is what makes the 12th man much more interesting. Because how? How can you survive Norwegian nature? It's so mad. Like, dude, it's a crazy story. The 12th man. I reacted to the movie. Go check out my reaction.
Unforgiving, and always waiting around the corner. Snow? Check. Ice? Check. Blizzards that make GPS cry? Triple check. Historical lesson time. In World War II, invaders found their planes grounded, their engines frozen, and their boots stuck in snowdrifts. Meanwhile, Norwegians were out skiing circles around them, probably sipping hot cocoa and humming Viking battle songs. Strategically, Norway...
That reminded me of Convoy also, another movie you reacted to, where they painted the submarine white and you couldn't see it in the snow. Definitely like an advantage too.
Norway is like the bouncer at the club entrance to the Arctic and North Atlantic. If you want to party in the north, you better get past Norway first. As NATO's northern flank, it's got the eyes of an entire alliance watching its back. Trying to sneak into Norwegian territory would be like breaking into Fort Knox during a fire drill. And let's not forget the sea lanes. Norwegian waters are prime real estate for controlling transatlantic supply lines. If a war ever kicks off big time, you can bet every admiral on Earth will be staring at a map of Norway like it's the last slice of pizza. Okay, let's say you don't want to mess with the coast. Maybe you try to go through Sweden? Plot twist. Sweden is like the guy at the party who says he doesn't want any drama but shows up with a black belt and a flamethrower. It's neutral, sure, but it's also heavily armed and definitely not cool with you marching through its front yard. Even if you could get through Sweden, Norway's infrastructure isn't doing you any favors. The roads are sparse,
Wow.
the distances are long, and the weather's still laughing at you. History has spoken, folks. In 1940, the Germans managed to invade Norway, but it took a boatload of luck, surprise, and a whole lot of, wait, what just happened? Once the Allies tried to take it back, they found out the hard way that Norway is like a bad ex. Getting in is way easier than getting out. And during the occupation, the Norwegian resistance wasn't just scrappy. They were legendary. Sabotage missions, secret codes.
It's interesting. After they got in, they were dying to find a way out. They're like, let me go. This reminds me of a scary movie scene, which I'm not going to reference which one it is, but you might know. It involves a clown under a bed.
Ski troops darting through the night. It was like Mission Impossible, but with better sweaters.
Better
Fast forward to
sweaters.
today, Norway is no pushover. In fact, it's quietly become one of the most well-prepared countries in Europe for asymmetric and defensive warfare. First off, the Norwegian armed forces have been undergoing serious modernization. This isn't your grandpa's Viking army. This is a high-tech, networked force with an Arctic twist. The army is expanding with a specific focus on rapid mobility and winter warfare. New armored vehicles like the CV-90 infantry fighting vehicles are optimized for rough terrain and snow, making them the four-wheel drive equivalents of battle rhinos.
Wow.
Norway also has Leopard 2 A7 tanks on order, some of the most advanced in the world, ideal for both defense and high-impact deterrence. And let's talk about the Air Force. Norway is fully equipped with F-35A Lightning II stealth fighters.
Bro.
Yes, the invisible ninja jets that can strike targets, gather intel, and look cool doing it. These aircraft allow Norway to project power across the region and intercept intruders before they even realize they're being watched. Then there's the Home Guard. Think of it as a nationwide neighborhood watch, but instead of flashlights and angry notes, they've got military training and weapons. With over 40,000 personnel, the Home Guard is distributed across the country and trained specifically for local defense, guerrilla tactics, and resistance. If an invader tries to sneak into a sleepy fishing village, surprise! If you're enjoying the video and want to help us keep making more, consider joining the channel as a member. It's just 99 cents a month. We kept it that low so it's easy for anyone to support. It might not seem like much, but if enough of you join, it'll make a huge difference for us. Grandma just called in coordinates for a mortar strike.
Honestly, it does. It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference, so go support the channel.
For us. Grandma just called in coordinates for a mortar strike. Norway is also upgrading its missile defense systems, deploying NASAMS, Norwegian Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System, which sounds like something Iron Man would design. This system can shoot down cruise missiles, aircraft, and drones with pinpoint accuracy. But Norway knows that defense doesn't end at its borders. That's why it constantly trains with NATO allies, especially the US Marines, who rotate through Norway to practice Arctic warfare. These guys don't do beach vacations. They train for fighting wars in snowstorms while being watched by reindeer. All these upgrades make Norway not just a tough nut to crack, but a nut surrounded by landmines, drones.
By the way, there is a slow TV which watches reindeer crossing, and it would be interesting if you're watching the slow TV and then you see, you know, the Norwegian army just pass by. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Make Norway not just a tough nut to crack, but a nut surrounded by landmines, drones, and very enthusiastic defenders. Let's say you go the old-fashioned route, a naval invasion. Bold move. But let me stop you right there. Norway's Navy is small but punchy, like a snowball with a rock in it. It's built for the unique conditions of the Norwegian coastline. with fast, agile ships designed to dart in and out of fjords like Arctic foxes with torpedoes.
nice.
Norway operates modern frigates, like the Fridtjof Nansen class, which are equipped with advanced sonar systems, Aegis combat systems, and anti-submarine capabilities. These aren't your average coast patrol boats. These are warships that can lock onto targets and call in a missile party while sipping thermal coffee in freezing conditions. And those famous fjords? They're perfect ambush zones.
Indeed.
The geography gives Norwegian forces...
Honestly, when I see the fjords, it reminds me of 300. You know the movie 300? It reminds me of that. It feels like if anybody goes there, it's ambush, because you can't go left, you can't go right. You just need to go forward or back. And if they have built-in missiles into the mountains, you know, that's it's over.
The geography gives Norwegian forces natural hiding spots for submarines, missile launchers, and small craft that can strike before you even realize you've entered hostile waters. Trying to sneak a fleet through there is like sailing into a trap set by Poseidon himself, only colder and with more sarcasm. On
More
the air defense
sarcasm.
front, we're talking layers. Norway's F-35s give it the ability to dominate the skies, detect enemy aircraft from long distances, and strike before opponents can even check their radar. Combine that with ground-based systems like NASAMS and the upcoming upgrades to long-range sensors, and you've got a country that's essentially wrapped in an invisible force field, and situational awareness
Amazing.
off the charts. Norway has invested heavily in surveillance radars, undersea listening networks, and Arctic monitoring tech. You can't even sneeze near the Norwegian Sea without someone in Oslo checking their screen. Also, let's not forget about the Coast Guard. It may sound peaceful, but it's more like the neighborhood watch with a PhD in naval tactics. Constant patrols, quick response times, and coordination with both military and NATO assets mean Norway's maritime security net is tight. And cold. Very cold. So if you're planning an invasion from the sea or the air,
If you're
just
planning.
remember, Norway will see you coming, jam your electronics, scramble jets, unleash missile mayhem, and possibly have a Viking longboat show up just to make a point. Imagine you're a villain in a spy movie.
A Viking longboat. Dude, that is very, very impressive. It's naturally built to ambush and to protect. It's a fortress. Those fjords, that's a fortress. Like literally. You can't get through that. Dang. Yeah, and it's very cold. That was such a great video. That's from the channel Battle Hub. Link is in the description. Go check it out. Go support it. I really like that. It's a very funny script. A very sarcastic script too. Dude, Norway is ready to defend. That is absolutely, it's impressive, to say the least. And what a nice video, very educational. Thank you, Whiplash, for sharing this with me. I had a lot of fun watching it, and it was educational as well. So thank you. Guys, join us on Twitch so you can leave your comments, and we're here live, so it's pretty awesome when you guys join us. With that said, guys, thank you for watching. Click over here to see my educational playlist, or go over to Buy Me a Coffee to request a video, just like Whiplash did. Bye-bye.